Hello, everybody, and good morning to the class. How are you today?
Great, Miss.
Okay, my girls. The first class of today is going to be vocabulary about the story of harvesting hope. And as we know, before each story that we take, we have to know the vocabulary of that story to expand our knowledge about the language and also to use these words to form new sentences and new paragraphs and new writing. So it can help me. They can help me in forming new sentences. And also number two, expand our knowledge about the language. These are few benefits of learning new vocabularies of any language. Okay, now I want you to go to the page 218 to 119 in your reading books because we will take a little passage that will introduce us to the story of today, and it has all the vocabulary that we need to show. So let's go to the book.
Page what?
218 to 119 in the reading book. Now, before we take the vocabulary of today, we are going to learn together a little strategy of vocabulary that you might took before in the first semester, but it's really important technique. In this technique or this strategy, we have something in English, we call it homonym. Of course, you know, before something it's called synonym, and the synonym is what is another word that have the same meaning of the first word. Like, for example, if I say cold or chilly, they mean the same thing, which means what? Cold weather. And then we have something, it's called antonym. Antonym, which means the opposite of the word. For example, if I say hot, opposite of the hot is cold. If I say, for example, bright, opposite of a bright is dark. And then we have something also, it's called homonym. What is homonym? Homonym actually, it has, when you have more, two words or more that are spelled the same and pronounced in the same way, but both have a different meaning. What that mean is, it means that, for example, if I give you the word bat and bat, I can say, for example, Tom hit the ball with the bat. And then I come to the other one and I say, I saw a bat outside and I got frightened. Now, if you look to these two words, both of them, they have the word bat. But if you come to read each one of them, you will notice that each bat of them have a different meaning. When I say Tom hit the ball with the bat, here, what kind of bat I mean? I mean this bat.
The stick?
Yes, the stick that I use it in
for hitting the ball, the sport.
Exactly. Bat, baseball.
Miss, the bats with long ears really look cute. They look like bunnies.
But it's not cute at all. If you go near of it, it will come to attack you right away. This is the bat of the baseball that I'm talking about. So Tom hit the ball with the bat. This is the bat that I'm talking about. This is a bat, and it has the E-A-T. Okay, and then I have another sentence. I said, I saw a bat outside of my house and I got frightened. This is the bat that I meant. This is the bat that I meant. So bat here, it means what? It means the animal, the small animal, the mammal, okay, that flies at night, and it looks like a mouse, but in the same time, it has what? It has wings, and he flies at the night. So here I have two bats. Both of them, they are spelled in the same way. They have the same letters, bat and bat, and they have the same pronunciation. I pronounce it in the same way, bat, bat. but they have different meaning. This in English, what I call it homonym. Why homonym? Because homo, it comes from the Latin word which means the same. Nym, it means what? It means word. So homonym, words have the same spelling and have the same sound, but they have different meaning. There's a lot of homonym in English. There are hundreds of homonym actually. You have the word, for example, crane and crane. Crane, one of them, it means the goose or the bird, and the other crane, it means the one that is similar to the bulldozer. This is a crane, okay? This is, we use it in buildings and in high buildings to transfer some of the blocks. We call it a crane. And we have crane the bird. This is also crane. Okay, so all of them, they have the same spelling but different meaning. So a lot of homonym exists in English, but you have to, somebody would ask, Miss, how would I know which crane is the meaning? Of course, you can know that from the context of the sentence, which means that when you read the sentence, you would understand which crane I mean. If I'm saying fly in a crane, then obviously I'm talking about the bird. If I'm talking about a crane that holds a big block and transfer the block, obviously I'm talking about what? The vehicle. Also the bat. If I'm talking about somebody who's using a bat, then I'm talking about the baseball bat. If I'm talking about something that's a bat that is flying, so I'm talking about the mammal and the animal, not the other bat. So at first, from the context of the sentence, you can understand the meaning of each one of them, and then you will understand how to use them in English. And you can play also with the words to make your own sentences by playing with these words for the people who doesn't know them. Okay, let's go right now for the page 290. This is a small paragraph or small passage that will introduce us to our lesson of today. The name of that passage is Migrant Work is No Picnic. So what does it mean, migrant, my girls? Who knows migrant? Now, in the people who
fly, like they travel, fly.
Yeah.
They travel.
For example, if you think about Syria right now, you know Syria.
Yeah.
The people have a war in their country, and the people had to go out of their country to search for another country because they are searching for security and for safety. Those people, they left their homes, they left their jobs, their money, their cars, everything behind them, and they just go with their children and their own clothes. That's it. So those people, when they go to another country, what we call them migrants. In Arabic, we means muhajirin. Those migrants, by the way, when they come to another country, they unfortunately work with low wages, and they don't give them that much of money or salaries. Why? Because they said you are not legal and you are in the country illegal. So I will give you any money and you will accept it. So they use those people in a bad way, and they give them less money than the other people inside the country. Why? Because they are only poor and they are only migrants. So here we are talking about the migrant work is no picnic. Yes.
Miss Muhajirin, it means that they travel and they will not come to their country.
Yes. They left their country and they went for another country. Some of the people, they come back to their country after several years. Some people, khalas, they stay there in the other country forever. A lot of people like this. Another example is the Palestinian people in Palestine who left Palestine because they had a war since a long time and they didn't come back again. They went to the whole world and they couldn't aslan come back to their country again. So we call them migrants. Okay, we tend to think of farm work as being healthful. You get fresh air and sunshine and use your muscles. You can lean against your hoe and look at the lush green crops growing in straight rows. It sounds like a satisfactory life, doesn't it? On the contrary, for workers, field work means long hours, poor pay, and torment for the body and mind. With bare hands and bent backs, these worker labor from dawn to dusk. in the hot sun. Even a plant will wilt under the sun's punishing rays without enough water. Sometimes the workers are not provided with water. They may not even have access to bathroom. And as for fresh air, workers instead often breathe the fumes of powerful incidents. All this hard labor takes a toll on the workers' health. Yet they often fail to get proper health care. When your pay is secretly enough to buy food for your family, a doctor's bills become an obstacle that can't be overcome. Getting people the authority to fight for the rights for workers has been an important issue for decades. Now, this is a little glance about the lives of the migrant people and the migrant workers in specific. For you, if you think about the farm work, you would think like, okay, the farm work, it's a hard work because it needs a lot of muscles. It needs that you have to wake up so early with the animals to take care of them, to take care of the crops, to go to water the crops and to take care of the animals, to feed them, to run after them, and then to milk the cows and all, etc. All of the hard work of the farms. You would think about it as healthy, maybe in some way. Why? Because you would say like, I'm using my body, I'm walking all the time, I don't sit that much, so I will stay fit and slim. I will use my muscles, then obviously I will have some muscles, and I'm walking all the time outside in the nature. It's good to connect with nature. But to those migrants, this is not the situation. Why? Because those migrants, as I told you, they go to another country without any having any papers, any money, any nothing. That just only their clothes. When the people see all of these people are poor and in need, they take advantage of that. And they say, okay, you need to have food and you need the shelter. I will give you the shelter and the food, and I will not pay you a salary, but you have to work with me. Would you agree? Of course, the migrant doesn't have any other choice because he is in the middle of nowhere. He will accept that, but later on he will regret that because why? Because those people, they use them in a bad way. They don't allow them to take a rest. They don't allow them to go to the bathroom. They don't allow them, some of the people, they don't allow to give water for them. They use them as animals, as working animals, even inferior to animals. So those people, they are tormented. What does it mean tormented? They have a lot of pain. It means that they have a lot of pain, and they stand the whole time between the lushes, which means the green bushes, and they stay without water. Even the lush and the bush will wilt. What does it mean wilt? Which means that they will become dry and they will die because there's no water. But those people stand under the sun from dawn to dusk without having anything and without even have money to
Miss
support them.
Torment is like me.
No, torment means torture. It means like so much of pain, torment, ta'zib, which means in Arabic. So torment, it has another meaning in English. We call it torture. This is a synonym for torment. So torment and torture means the same thing, which means to expose the person to a lot of pain, to make him under a lot of pain. Okay, my girls, these are the words we have for today. We have lush, torment, wealth, access, toll, and authority and obstacle. Let's go ahead and understand the meaning of each one of them. The first word we have right here is access. What does it mean, access? It means that if I want to go to the other room, I have to access through the door, which means the door will be my entrance. So access, it will be the right to approach or enter, to use admittance. Okay, admittance like a key, or to give me the access to go to that area. So the access means that you give me the right to go to another area. Authority, it means the power to enforce the people to obey it, to obedience, and to let the people obey your orders. This thing, for example, the police cop, he have the authority to let me wear the mask. Why? Because the government give him the authority of that, give him the power to force people to wear the mask. If you don't wear it, you will have a tax on you, you will have to pay a bill. So who gave the person the cup the right to do that for us? It's the authority that he has. What is the authority? He is a cup and he took the power from the government. So I can't go against that. So authority, it means power. Then we have lush. This photo right here, it shows the lush. What does it mean, lush? It means having a thick growth covered with the growing things. Like, for example, imagine that you have a big field, and this big field, it has a lot of bushes and green leaves and green trees that cover the area. You can't see anything from your area. So we call it lush. It's a thick bushes. Obstacle, for example, this person wants to go from this area to this area, but he has the obstacle that he has to go over this hole without hurting himself, because if he fell down he will die. So he's trying to cross without hurting himself, and he has this place as obstacle. What does it mean, obstacle? Something prevent you or stop you from progress or from going to another area. We call it obstacle. And then we have the word toll. Toll, it means tax or fee for some rights or of a privilege. Like, for example, if I want to go to, let's go, for example, for a resort or a picnic in an area that I have to pay to enter to that area, then we call that paying, we call it a toll, because I'm paying something to have the privilege to go inside and to enjoy the place inside. So this money that I pay, I don't call it tax, I call it toll. Toll, which means something instead of going inside and to enjoy the place. Torment. Torment, it means what? To cause somebody a very great pain. Like, for example, this person is tormenting his finger by what? By trying to knock the nail, but he tormented his finger by knocking his finger instead of the nail. So torment, it means to cause a lot of pain. Wilt, like this bush right here, the vegetable is what is wilting, and the leaves are wilting. Why? Because there's no enough water, and if the plants stay without water for a long time, they will wilt. Wilt means they will become dry and they will die. Okay, these are the words that we have, and I want also to show you another words to expand your knowledge. This is for general knowledge. We have the word drought. Drought, it means a time with little or no rain. A drought, which means that the dry areas in the desert, we call it a drought areas. And then we have dedicated. Dedicated, it means to set a time, set a time for yourself to do something and to focus on it. So set aside for a special purpose. The students dedicated time to study for their classes. Then we have overcome. Overcome, it means to defeat something. Like the runner was able to overcome the pain and complete the marathon. And then we have capital. Capital, it means a building where government meets. Like, for example, in Washington, D.C. in America, they have the White Capitol, the White House, what they call it. They call it the Capitol House. Why? Because it's the building that the government sits all the decisions in there. Every 4th of July, there are fireworks over our capital in Washington, D.C. Association. Association, it's a club or organization or a company. The Girl Scouts is an association that teach leadership and encourage friendship. Association is like a company or a group of people they are gathering. Violence. Violence is the use of this physical force. Like those people, they are using violence and they are hitting each other. They are not talking with each other in peace. No, they are using violence. So you should never use violence to solve problems.
Miss, that's me and my brother.
Yeah. Then we have conflict, again, like you and your brother. Conflict, it means to have disagreement or fight between each other. A referee tries to referee, it means what? It means the judge in the middle in the, for example, in the football match or in a wrestling match, you will find the person who try to judge between the people. We call him in English referee. A referee tries to prevent conflicts from happening between people. And then we have publicity. Publicity, information given to the public. It comes from the word public, to get attention. Like for example, this article will be able to go to publicity, which means what? I will publish it for people. So you can get publicity for your garage sale by placing an ad in the newspaper. Then we have a brilliant. Brilliant means bright and shining. I can use it with minds, and I can use it also to describe people. The new light bulbs produce a brilliant light, which means a very shining, bright light. Then we have horizon. Horizon where the earth meets the sky. Like for example, I'm walking in the middle of the desert, and the last thing I can see is what is the mountains right here and the sky. The mountains meet the sky. This area right here, I call it horizon. The road seemed to go beyond the horizon. In Arabic, I call it al-ufuq. The road seemed to go beyond the horizon. These are few words for general knowledge. And let's go right now to our books.
Very great pain. Torment.
Torment, excellent. Torment is the first word. And then we have number 2, Ghalia.
Something that prevents to stop progress. Authority? No, obstacle.
Obstacle, very good. Obstacle. Malak, number 3 for you.
320 what?
322. 29, sorry.
Oh.
Right to approach, enter, or use. Access.
Access, amazing, my girl. Very good. And number 4.
To become limp and bend down, wither. Wilt.
Wilt, very good. Like the flowers are wilting without water. And number 5, Ghalia.
Power to enforce
Obedience.
Obedience. Authority.
Authority, very good. So we have authority. Okay, choose the correct word to complete the sentence and write it on the blank right here. Number 6, Watin. The fields.
The fields of Southern California are with growing fruits and vegetables are lush.
Lush, excellent. Okay, number 7, Malak.
To harvest the crops, farm owners need to do a large supply of labor.
Labor.
The crops and farm.
So they need what?
They need
to harvest the crops. Farm owners, they need a large supply of labor. They need to bring other people from other side to work with them in the farms. So what they need? They need access to a large supply of labor. Access. Number 8, طيب يا ملاك. يلا, try again. Number 8.
One for farm owners is the difficulty of finding a large labor supply.
One thing that prevents them from finding good labor is what? Is the difficulty finding those people. So what we call this thing that stop in front of us, what we call it?
Authority.
No, something stop us from doing something. What we call that thing that prevent us from moving forward?
Miss, can I try?
Malak, just a minute. Hi, Malak. Something stop us from going forward. Authority is the power.
Wilt?
No, wilt is going down and die without water.
Yeah.
Toll is the tax that I pay. Torment is somebody who's feeling pain. Lush is the bushes and the leaves. Access is to enter inside. Obstacle is to prevent me from going forward. So which word is this?
Obstacle.
Obstacle, very good. Okay, go number 9, ya Ghalia.
After many months grueling farm labor can take on the workers. Torment.
No, they can take a toll on the workers.
Oh.
Okay, number 10, yeah, Watin. They may
not have the to change their working condition.
they are trying to change the work condition, but they didn't have the power to do that. So what they didn't have is the power
Authority.
means what?
Authority.
Authority. Very good. So authority. Authority. Excellent.
Done, Miss.
Me too.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, we have the vocabulary. We're done from this first period about the vocabulary. Inshallah, in the next period, we are going to talk about the story of harvesting hope. I will see you, inshallah, in some time, and take care of yourself and enjoy your day. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.